Hi again, we are Luke and Yasmin. Welcome to our September video newsletter. It's hard to believe that September has already been and gone.
Yeah, and Christmas is just around the corner.
Yeah, need to crack on with some shopping.
Yeah.
So in this month's monthly newsletter, we're going to be discussing all the latest change checking news. We've had a new coin release.
A new banknote.
Yeah, the new £10 banknote. And also an exclusive interview with a designer from the Royal Mint.
Yeah. So first up then is the Sir Isaac Newton 50p, which is this one. So this one was officially released in brilliant uncirculated quality on the 4th of this month. A number of these coins were released into circulation back in June. And
yeah, they didn't really specify, the Mint didn't specify how many there were, but we just had quite a number of reports from change checkers that they were finding them, especially in the West Country.
Yeah. So we're still waiting to hear back on whether the coins have officially now been released into circulation, but we think they have because a lot of change checkers have actually found.
Yeah, and some people have found sort of bags of 20,
exactly.
40 of them. So, and on the same on the subject of Sir Isaac Newton 50p. We were really lucky to have a chat with Aaron West, who is actually a designer for the Royal Mint, who did design the Isaac Newton 50p coin.
And he also designed the Fire of London £2 coin, which change checkers have actually voted twice in a row now that his coin or his design was their favourite. So that's great for Aaron. Yeah,
it's brilliant. If you have a read of the blog, it obviously tells you in quite nice detail what goes into designing a coin.
Yeah.
And it's a really good read. And we did actually give away 10 of these signed Sir Isaac Newton coins signed by Aaron.
Yeah.
And we do have another 10 to give away at some stage, so do keep your eyes
we'll be
peeled.
looking maybe to do another competition or something to give away those 10 signed copies. So
moving on to probably the most important event in September was the launch of the new Polymer Jane Austen £10 note. This was released on the 14th of September at strategic locations around the country.
Yeah. So we were actually lucky enough to get some from Winchester because they were released there on the day of the launch because obviously she was buried there. So Luke took a look on Facebook Live when he got the new £10 note and looked at some of the security features.
Of which there are lots. There are loads. It took a while, but it's a really beautiful note.
Yeah. And I think that the this bit here is just fantastic that they've included that now for the.
Yeah, I think it's about time, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
And so what we did do, we asked change checkers to tell us where they'd found the note around the country, and we had hordes of responses. It's pretty obvious that the note had.
Yeah, it's definitely circulated quite widely now. I mean, you said you found one this morning.
Yeah, I found one this morning. Petrol station was my first one.
I still haven't got one in my change yet, but keeping my eyes peeled.
Yeah. So that's it for the £10 note for the time being. But also another massive milestone coming up is the demonetisation of the round £1 coin, which I think is going to be quite sad.
It's going to be really sad. It's exciting, but also sad as well, because I mean, if you think about it, we've had to say goodbye to the £5 note, the £10 note next year, and the £1 coins.
Yeah, and I think being born sort of early 80s, that it's it's all we've ever known really.
Yeah.
So what we did is we posted a blog where we identified probably the 5 round £1 coins you might want to keep hold of, because they top our scarcity index and they may become slightly more valuable in future.
Yeah, and I think the most obvious one that everyone knows about, even if you're not into coins, is the Edinburgh £1 coin. Not many people have this, but this is our last one, which we're going to keep, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sorry, no more giveaways. We're going to keep that one.
And then after Edinburgh, then you're looking at, I believe it's Cardiff City, and then the London City are the next two in our scarcity index. And then, if I get this right, we've got the Thistle and the Bluebell, which is a Scottish round £1 coin.
Which was also voted one of the most favourite £1 coin designs.
Yeah, and that was part of the Floral Emblems series. And the last coin to top off the top 5 is the UK Crown Shield. Yeah,
which is quite a strange one actually, because this one was 1988 and the rest of them are all, 2010 onwards. Yeah. So it's quite strange that one's in there, but it doesn't turn up in many people's change anymore. And so if you've got it in your collection, it's definitely one to keep hold of.
Absolutely. Going from talking about cash to talking about a cashless society, it's a really interesting story that came out this month, and that some countries in Europe, like take Sweden for example, are almost completely cash free now. Like I think it's like 90% of payments in the country are made electronically now.
I mean, how boring.
Yeah, yeah. And there was a report from retail analyst Mintle, who, which is really good news for us, saying that people of the UK are actually rejecting the cashless society. Yeah,
I think that's so easy to believe. I mean, change checkers or people interested in coins, whether they follow Change Checker or know about Change Checker, there are so many more people and young people interested in coins nowadays, especially thanks to Beatrix Potter. And I mean, hopefully that will continue. And I don't think we're not ready to say goodbye to
No, I mean, we're obviously biased, but 93% of change checkers said that they do not want to lose cash completely. I personally think there's a nice balance between cash and card at the moment. So yeah, good news, and thanks for the vote of confidence for cash.
So back in June, you'll probably remember, we reported about a new error coin that was discovered by collector Richbird. So he got in contact saying that he'd found one of the new 12-sided £1 coins, which had the 2017 date on the Queen's Head side, so the obverse, but 2016 on the micro engraving.
Yeah, it's really hard to, you actually can't see it with the naked eye.
I mean, we've had a look through some of the coins we've had with the Change Checker phone scope.
Yeah.
Because it's the only way that you can discover this, which makes it, I guess, a sort of error that people sort of maybe can't be bothered to look out for.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a tricky one to see. I mean, and also we've had lots of reports of the micro engraving, even in a relatively short period of time, having quite a bit of wear and tear. Yeah. So even now it's becoming harder to spot.
Yeah, and I think the one that Richbird found is the only one that we've heard of or people have been in contact with.
Yeah, it's the only one that's been officially verified. He took it down to the Royal Mint and it was a head of security there verified it. And so it's the only one we know of. And when we spoke to Rich, he said he'd actually sold the first coin for £2,500.
Which, if you find £1 coins, just make sure that you just give them a quick look. It takes 5 seconds, and knowing that it's worth £2,500.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just need to look, don't you? I mean, I do it every single time I get a new £1 coin in my change. Yeah,
and you can use a little microscope or something like that as well. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking. I mean, why wouldn't you talk about finding some treasure in your pocket?
And then just go ahead and spend it if it's not dual dated. But I mean, imagine if you found another dual dated £1 coin. Yeah. Like the interest and, you know, they're so sought after. So just look out for them. Yeah,
we don't think there's a huge amount out there either. No. So yeah, happy hunting with that one.
There's no confirmation on how many. So, I mean, there could be a few. So get looking.
Yeah, absolutely. And then finally, really, we had a launch of a coin. So it is the 2017 Aviation £2, and a certain number of these were released at the Imperial War Museum in Duxford at one of their major air shows. And I mean, it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. Some of the commemorative coins that are coming from the mint at the moment I think they're absolutely brilliant. It's commemorating such an important event. I'd be really interested to hear if anyone managed to get their hands on them. We haven't had too many reports of people that have, maybe one or two.
I think there was only a limited amount. I can't remember how many, but there was only a limited amount. And you had to be there to get one as well. So we're still waiting for those to be entered into circulation, which should be, I mean, we're nearly at Christmas, so they should all be in circulation by the end of the year. But we haven't had any confirmation at the moment. But of course, as soon as we do, we'll let you all know straight away.
And so that's pretty much it from us this month. I mean, it's been pretty manic. And next time we see you, the round pound will no longer be legal tender. So I think probably the message would say, if you're not planning on keeping them for your collection or donating them, do make sure you cash them in. Because essentially demonetise means they lose legal tender. So from the 15th of October, your round pound coins will essentially be worth nothing. And then we've got quite an important announcement on Monday.
Yep. 2nd of October, Monday, we've got a really, really exciting announcement. So make sure you tune in on Monday morning.
And so until next time, it's goodbye from us. Have a great weekend.